Welcome back to The Critique. Today we're breaking down a script for a video project. It's titled Mechas, Piloted Robots, Seen in First Person.
Right. It depicts an evacuation scenario.
A high-stakes one. So, let's just jump straight into the feedback.
Let's do it.
The first major hurdle here, the thing that just hits you in the face, is the high density of, noise.
Oh, the letters.
Yeah, the script opens with this vertical stack of single letters E, A, N, O, and W. It just looks like a mistake.
It really does. My first thought was, is this a code? An acronym? It completely stops you before you've even started reading the actual scene.
Exact. It creates this huge cognitive load right at the start. You're asking the reader, or, the actor, to decode what seems like nonsense.
Right.
And I think the intention is to be atmospheric, like we're hearing a radio glitch or a machine starting up.
Sure, but transcribing the sound of a glitch as just A-N-N-E is, it's the wrong tool for the job.
It really is.
It's sort of the difference between being a scriptwriter and a court stenographer. A stenographer writes down every every cough. A writer is an architect. You don't transcribe the noise. You design the cue for the noise.
That's a great way to put it, because ANN reads less like a 50-ton robot coming online and more like, someone stubbing their toe.
Or just some weird audio artifact. So the suggestion here is pretty clear, right?
Yeah, it's about what you could call audio architect. The creator needs to just wipe these phonemes off the page completely
And replace them.
with distinct bracketed sound design cues.
Right. So instead of EAN, you just write something descriptive like static interference or maybe hydraulics hissing.
Yes. Or let's think about the title, First Person. If I'm inside the cockpit, what am I hearing? EAN tells me nothing.
Okay, good point.
But if the script says reactor hum stabilized or external audio dampened, suddenly I know exactly where I am. I'm in a sealed cockpit.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That tells a story. Or even muffled explosion. That one word, muffled, tells you you're behind thick armor plating.
It's about giving the right instruction. You're passing the baton to the sound design. If you give them, oh, ah, whoa, they might just record a groan. But if you give them heavy metallic groan of steel, they know exactly what to do. They'll create something that sells the scale of this thing.
And it applies to the pilot sounds too. The script has, oh, I assume that's a reaction.
It's just so weak.
It is. Is it pilot hyperventilating or sharp inhale of shock?
Sharp inhale is so much better. It gives the actor a direction. It implies a sudden danger, an emotional state. It's specific.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on from the noise to the actual dialogue, because the problems continue there.
They do. The urgency of this whole evacuation is really undercut by incomplete phrases and what just look like typos.
The nearest class issue?
The nearest class issue. The line is evacuate to the nearest class. And okay, let's assume nears is a typo for nearest. We're still left with class.
Is this a high school?
That's the question.
In this genre, with anime tropes, having kid pilots in a school setting is a huge thing, like Evangelion.
That's true.
So when I read nears class, for a second, my brain actually wonders, is nears a proper noun? Is it a specific classroom they need to find?
And that hesitation is the killer.
Yes.
In an emergency, clarity is everything. If I hear that command, I'm not moving. I'm confused. And in a mecha battle, if you stand still for 2 seconds,
you get stepped on by a giant monster. It just breaks the whole suspension of disbelief.
It does. It feels like a placeholder. So the suggestion is pretty straightforward. This dialogue needs to be polished for authority and completeness. A PA system in a crisis doesn't make type.
And it doesn't just, trail off. The other one is report to your super-V, S-U-P-E-R-V. It just ends.
Right.
Now, if that's intentional, like the speaker just got hit by a missile, that's cool.
But you have to tell us that.
Exactly. You'd write signal lost or explosion cuts feed. Otherwise, it just looks like the writer got distracted.
So let's fix. How do we make this sound authoritative?
Okay, first, the destination. Nearest class has to go. If it's a military base, it should be nearest blast shelter.
Or clearance zone. I like clearance zone. It's procedural, it sounds official.
Yeah, that works. All personnel proceed to the nearest clearance zone. See? It flows.
And for the super thing?
Just finish the word. Supervisor. But honestly, supervisor sounds a little,
A little corporate, like you're late for your shift at the mall.
right? This is a giant robot fight. It should be commanding officer or deck chief or central command, something with weight.
I like deck chief. It implies a physical place, a person with grease on their hands. It adds some texture.
So the revised line could be something like, all personnel, please evacuate to the nearest blast shelter and report to your deck chief immediately.
Clean, no confusion, just actionable orders.
Exactly.
And this kind of leads into our next big point, which is really about the promise of the title. The title is Mecha. It promises giant robots, sci-fi action. The text itself, though, feels incredibly generic.
It's the office building problem.
Yeah? What's that?
All personnel, please evacuate. That's the announcement you hear when someone burns popcorn in the break room. It's polite and it's boring.
It has no flavor. If you took the title away, this script could be for a fire drill. There's nothing in the language that screams futuristic death machines.
And the audience for this stuff, they're smart. They want the jargon. They want to feel like they're in that world.
So we need to inject that world into the words. We need genre-specific terminology.
So instead of just a generic location, what could we use?
Let's see. Gantry, hangar, launch bay.
Gantry is perfect. It implies height, metal, industry. Clear the gantry. You can immediately picture the scene.
Right? And instead of just personnel, what about something more specific?
Could be pilots or ground crew, or if we want to lean into the sci-fi, all Neuralink operators.
Ooh, all Neuralink operators disconnect immediately. Now we're cooking. That tells a story about the technology without any boring exposition.
And what about the first-person angle? The title really emphasizes it. The script should reflect that interface.
We touched on it with sound, but we can do more visually.
Absolutely. If this is for a video, the script should have cues for the HUD, the heads-up display.
Ah, okay. So like a column for audio and a column for visuals.
Yes. So while the audio is saying evacuate, the visual part of the script is flashing warning, core attempt critical.
Oh, that's great. That contrast is where all the drama is. The polite computer voice versus the terrifying red text that says collision imminent.
Right. That's how you use the format to tell two stories at once. It justifies why this needs to be first person. Otherwise, it's just a camera angle.
Yeah, you're making the interface a character. Okay, so that leads to the last point. We fixed the words, but what about the delivery? The pacing of the line is still just too flat.
Please evacuate and report to. It's a lullaby. It's so polite and bureaucratic.
And I know the calm dystopian AI voice can be a thing, but it has to feel intentional.
For sure. And even if the voice is calm, the sentence structure itself is just slow. Do this and do that. In an emergency, you don't use conjunctions. You use commands.
You bark orders. So the suggestion is to heighten the tension by changing the syntax, chop it up.
Exactly.
A flight controller in a panic doesn't say, please, they prioritize.
So instead of that long sentence, it becomes, what?
Evacuate immediately.
Short, punchy. I like it. Or clear the deck now. The period is your best friend here. Every stop adds a beat of urgency.
What about repetition?
Repetition is huge for alarms. Alert, alert, breach detected. It mimics the rhythm of a siren. If you say evacuate, 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 you're creating a rhythm of panic.
And we can bring it all together with the sound design we talked about earlier?
Yes, this is where it all clicks. Imagine the script looking like this now.
Okay.
You have siren wails, then the voice. All personnel, then explosion shakes the camera. Voice continues. Clear the gantry. Then static cuts in. Repeat. Clear the gantry.
Wow. Yeah, that is a scene. The original was just a sentence that has geography, stakes, texture. It's a whole world.
And see how the cutoff works there? If the speaker gets interrupted by a loud crash of metal, we know why they stopped talking. We've turned a potential typo into a real plot point.
That's the whole thing, isn't it? Everything on the page has to be intentional.
Exactly.
Okay, this was a great teardown. Let's recap the main actionable points for the creator.
Sounds good.
All right, so first up, the noise, the EAN problem. Stop transcribing raw sounds.
Right. Replace them with descriptive bracketed cues. Hydraulics, static. Architect the soundscape.
Second, completeness and authority. Fix the typos like near's class. They break immersion. And finish your sentences.
And use authoritative language. Blast shelter, not class. Deck chief, not supervev.
Third, deliver on the promise of the title. You sold us mechas, so give us mecha-specific language.
Use the jargon, gantry, Neuralink, and use that first-person view ad, HUD warnings, to layer the story.
And finally, pacing. Politeness is the enemy of tension in a scene like this.
Chop up the sentences. Use short, punchy commands. Use repetition. Make it sound like a real emergency.
This project has so much potential. A first-person mecha story could be incredible. The script just needs to match the scale of that idea.
Absolutely. I want to feel the ground shake when I'm reading it.
We really invite you to take these notes, rewrite this scene, and please submit it back to us. We would love to see the after version of this.
Definitely.
For The Critique, I'm your host.
And I'm the expert. Keep writing.